I gain a shop that can shift freely between the wasteland and the real world. I fully expect to be torn apart by countless zombies, but the shop actually comes with absolute defense. So I sell worthless instant noodles, bottled water, and sausages at sky-high prices. In this deadly wasteland, I am going to build my very own business empire. Right now, I am holding my burning hot phone, listening to my girlfriend's ice-cold voice. Milo, we are done. It turns out that in the 3 years since I graduated, I changed jobs 3 times and failed to save a single penny. My girlfriend could not stand my poverty any longer and ran straight into the arms of the trust fund kid Victor. After the call ends, I slump into my chair. Over the past few years, I racked up $350,000 in debt to pay for my parents' treatment. In the end, they still passed away. The debt is still unpaid, and all that is left is this half-dead little shop. But right at this moment, the world spins around me. As the background shifts, I realize I have arrived in the wasteland. Through the window, I see a horde of zombies. The zombies notice the shop that appeared out of nowhere. The very next second, they all charge at me like they have lost their minds. I think to myself, I am done for. But the sound of shattering glass never comes. The door that used to break at the slightest touch does not budge an inch. Just then, a hollow screen appears before my eyes. Current world, apocalypse, shop status, absolute safety, dimensional shift, available again in 12 hours. In other words, as long as I stay here for 12 hours, I can return to the real world. I glance at the monsters outside and scratch my head in frustration. This tiny shop, barely 200 square feet, is packed with all kinds of goods: braised beef, instant noodles, bottled water, sausages, bread, cookies. Back in the real world, all of this combined is barely worth anything. But what about here? A thought claws its way up from the depths of my mind. In the wasteland, the most precious thing is not gold, not diamonds. It is clean food and water. I rush to the counter and grab the most ordinary bottle of water. This bottle costs $2 in the real world. In this zombie-infested world, how much is it worth? I think of that $350,000 in debt, and I think of Tiffany's words on the phone. We are done. I twist open the bottle and take a long, hard gulp. What I need to do now is use these 12 hours to earn my first fortune. I am already calculating. 1 bottle of water for 1 gram of gold. No, too little. 1 bottle for 10 grams. 1 pack of noodles for 100 grams. I force myself to calm down. I need customers first. A dozen zombies are blocking the entrance. No survivor would dare come close. But sitting here for 12 hours doing nothing? No way. My eyes land on the braised beef noodles, and a plan takes shape in my mind. In this world drenched in rust and rot, what could possibly be more lethal than the aroma of a steaming bowl of instant noodles? I plug in the power and flip a switch. The kettle starts gurgling. The shop actually has electricity. It seems this system-bound space is completely independent from the outside, a world of its own. The water boils fast, and a rich, overpowering aroma explodes inside the shop. Even I cannot help swallowing hard. But now comes the problem. How do I get this deadly scent to the outside? I certainly cannot open the door. I pace around the shop, and my eyes finally lock onto a ventilation fan. The rich aroma drifts through that tiny vent and out into the deathly silent world beyond. Time ticks by, second by second. The silence outside remains absolute. Just when my patience runs dry, a blast of flame engulfs those zombies in an instant. I watch through the window, on full alert. It is a woman. Her gaze sizes up this shop that sticks out among the surrounding ruins. Interesting. Someone actually dares to run a shop in a hellhole like this. She walks straight toward the entrance, but the next second slams right into an invisible wall. So you aren't awakened too? Is this your power? A moment of silence. I am Nightingale. Milo, what is the price for that? Gold. What era do you think this is? Who even uses that useless stuff anymore? My shop only accepts gold. Seeing how firm my stance is, Nightingale raises her hand and sends a fireball flying, aimed straight at my face. But the flame vanishes the instant it touches the barrier, disappearing completely. Now can we talk business? Fine, boss Milo. How much for a bowl of noodles? Not much. 100 grams of gold. 100 grams? Why don't you just rob people? Even if gold is as worthless as scrap iron now, that does not mean it grows on trees. You don't have to buy. With that, I ignore her and start eating the noodles I just prepared. The slurping is painfully loud. Nightingale's throat bobs involuntarily. She cannot even remember the last time she had a hot meal. Day after day, she has been surviving on scavenged canned food and energy bars. That stuff keeps you alive but gives zero satisfaction. Right then, her stomach lets out a faint growl. The sound is barely audible, but in this dead silence it hits like thunder. Nightingale's cheeks flush red in an instant. I act like I hear nothing, and keep enjoying my noodles. I don't have that much gold right now. Can I put it on a tab? No tabs at this shop. I am not here to run a charity. Besides, I will be gone in less than 12 hours. Who knows if Nightingale can get the gold back in time. Finally, I finish the last bite and let out a satisfied burp. I casually grab a sausage off the shelf, flick it with my finger, and it arcs perfectly through the air as casually as tossing food to a stray cat. Nightingale's body goes rigid. This is pure, naked disrespect. But reason tells her to pick it up and eat it. Time seems to freeze. 2.5 seconds later, hunger defeats dignity. In just 3 bites the sausage is gone. That is my good faith gesture. 100 grams of gold for 1 bowl of noodles. Fair and square. Wait for me. She drops those 2 words and turns to leave. With her abilities, as long as she finds a survivor settlement or a pre-apocalypse bank vault, getting 100 grams of gold is no big deal. But I call out to stop her. Hold on. I pull out a can of cola, nice and easy. The legendary cola. A drink you could find anywhere before the apocalypse, but today it is more luxurious than the finest wine. This one is 50 grams of gold per can. Before Nightingale can respond, I tear open a pack of spicy snack sticks. This one is cheap, 30 grams of gold a pack. Ice cold cola, spicy snack sticks, piping hot noodle soup. Before the apocalypse, these 3 were the cheapest combo you could find, but now they are filled with the ultimate temptation. Nightingale's fists clench at her sides until they creak. You had better have enough stock. Then her figure vanishes. She's going to get gold, right now, immediately. The dimensional shift still has 10.5 hours of cooldown. I start taking inventory. 10 cases of instant noodles, 15 cases of bottled water, snack sticks and sausages fully stocked. I even dig out 5 eggs in the corner. An idea sparks in my mind. A little over an hour later, a loud crash comes from outside. Nightingale is back. She looks a bit roughed up, and she is holding a black bag. 200 grams of gold, not a gram less. A prompt appears. Allow this item one-way entry into the safe zone. I silently think, allow. The black bag is lifted by an invisible hand and floats gently down to my feet. Nightingale's pupils contract sharply. This man is even more cautious than she thought. After verifying and counting the goods, I pull out braised beef noodles and ice-cold cola and snack sticks. Then, right in front of Nightingale, I boil another kettle. Finally, I carry that steaming bowl of noodles to the doorway. Just as Nightingale thinks I'm about to hand it over, I suddenly stop and pull an egg from my pocket. I look at Nightingale. Hey gorgeous, want an egg on top? How much? 50 grams of gold. 1 egg, 50 grams of gold? Why don't you just rob people? You don't have to add it. The eggs at this shop are reserved for special customers. I start putting the egg back. Wait, Nightingale, a powerful flame awakened, has always been the one others bow down to. But today she keeps swallowing her pride. The words "I don't want it" get stuck in her throat and refuse to come out. She reaches into a small leather pouch at her waist. A crystal the size of a pigeon egg rests quietly in her palm. I am out of gold for now. Use this for the egg. I raise an eyebrow, wondering what the heck this thing is. Just as I am about to refuse, a hollow screen pops up. High energy signature detected. Item, low tier zombie crystal core. Strongly recommended. Complete this transaction. I had it wrong. I had it all wrong. I have been using the shop the wrong way this entire time. I have been so busy figuring out how to pay off that $350,000 in debt that I missed the shop's true purpose. These crystal cores. In an instant, everything clicks, but I keep a look of disgust on my face. What is this ugly rock? It looks gross. This is a crystal core from inside a zombie's brain. It is essential for awakened training. Gold is not even worthy of being compared. So this crystal is some kind of power resource in this world? What would a shopkeeper like me need it for? Nightingale is shaking with rage. This man is impossible to deal with and blind as a bat. I watch her looking ready to explode and let out a sigh. Fine, fine, you seem sincere enough. I will make an exception just this once. The moment those words leave my mouth, I silently think the command, collect. The crystal core vanishes from Nightingale's palm in an instant. I do not even glance at it. I just shove the core into my pocket. Then I hand over the deluxe egg-top supreme noodles, along with the cola and snack sticks. She grabs a fork and wolfs it all down, not leaving even the scallions at the bottom. She cracks open the cola and downs it in one go. Only then does she tear open the snack sticks and eat them one by one. Through all of it, I just watch in silence. I will be back. Nightingale drops those words and disappears into the darkness around the corner. After she leaves, I pull out the crystal core. Low-tier zombie crystal core. Can break the human gene lock. Upon use, there is a chance of becoming awakened. If absorption fails, the user will be broken down into base particles on the spot. Success rate, below 1%. My hand twitches and I nearly fling the core away. What the hell? Below 1%? This is not an opportunity. This is a one-way ticket to hell. But the shop pops up a new prompt. Within the shop's range, the player is immune to all forms of damage, including but not limited to physical damage, energy blasts, mental corruption, and genetic collapse. I look at the core in my hand again. For me, this is zero risk, maximum reward. How do I use it? Swallow directly. This thing does not exactly look edible, but remembering how Nightingale summoned fire out of thin air, I swallow it whole. The next second, a violent wave of pain tears through my entire body. I curl up like a shrimp. Second after second passes until the agony finally fades, replaced by raw power surging through every muscle. Is this what it means to be awakened? This strength is terrifying. I copy Nightingale's pose and strike a stance. Fire! Nothing. Not a single spark on my fingertips. Damn it, did the awakening fail? The more I think about it, the angrier I get. I slam my fist into the shelf next to me. Suddenly the shelf and all the snacks on it vanish.